Hey, it's time for I love it.
I do
Oh
too.
yeah, Comic Burrito live stream.
A live stream. I'm Todd, and
I'm Todd.
We gotta have it when one of us isn't here that it the face X's off or something.
That's already been one of my plans. Is it doesn't pop up? I have to make it. But what's up? How's it going?
Turns into one of our zombie head or decapitated vampire heads,
or just little donk is there instead.
Yeah.
Oh, what's
Hi,
up,
everybody?
Ignacio?
I gotta switch over to chat. There you go.
No, how's it going, Nick?
Let's go. Me?
Let's go.
I did a Mario impression the other day, and then Roxy, I came home from work, and Roxy was like, "Dad, do the Mario thing." And I was so tired that I was like, it's me, Mario. And I just kept watching. She was so disappointed. Yeah.
Oh man. So what you been reading? What you been doing? What you been living?
I've been reading a lot.
I know you've been on a digital tear.
Yeah, I just finished Zdarsky's Howard the Duck because he was on the Scott Snyder class this Wednesday. Nice. And he mentioned his Howard the Duck run a couple times, and it was like, all right, it's 11 issues. It was really good. It's got a cool little. I guess it's old enough, right? It's like Chip wrote himself. Oh, yeah. Chip wrote himself into the book, so like he's
Chip did Chip things.
Yeah, it's very it's a cool little fourth wall thing, I guess, if you could call it that. But
that's cool.
Yeah, you.
I've had a crazy week. My wife was gone for a week, so I had to live by myself, but with my child. So I didn't get to do the whole like bachelor, like live without pants thing and all of that. But I read something. I read some comics this week. Nightwing is a book that I'm reading that I'm excited that Fear State's we're done with Fear State now with it. So we're
that's good. I didn't read
I'm excited for the next one.
Yeah. The next one you got to get it. I'm gonna get a couple copies of it.
Yeah,
it's got the it's all one page or all one. You can take each page and line them up into one.
Yeah.
Mural.
So you need two.
I guess. I need three because I want to keep one.
Because you want a good one.
Right, and then I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else came? There was another book that came out this week. Because we didn't have Wednesday, but it was a slow week. Was it the Superman Son of Kal-El was this week? I like that book a lot. Clear 2 on Comixology.
Oh yeah, Clear 2. That was good. The engine's great. It's totally worth it. The ending was good.
Yeah, I don't know what number 3 is gonna be. I guess I'm much more interested in it now after the end of 2 than I was at the end of 1, and I was fairly interested in number 1. There's another. I can't think of.
Do you have rankings from this week, or because it was such a cluster you didn't?
Those were my 3. Actually, was. I know I read more, but it's been such a long week. I'm just blanking. I know I read something else on Marvel that I can't remember.
Batman, Green Lantern. That's good if you're a Green Lantern person. They're still trying to find their footing, but I dig it. I still like it. And
I did catch up to being 6 months behind on Batman, so I went through Joker War, the designer, and then Joker War, and then Ghostmaker stuff.
That's gross, man.
It was fine.
Oh shit! You know what?
I read Moon Knight.
Oh yeah, you did.
Lemire's Moon Knight. I can't think of it. Yeah, not the new one.
Yeah. You know what else I read this week that came out? I actually there's a few DC things on my poll, but then I came across Black Cotton #6. Oh, you have it right there too. Yeah, what a coincidence. Really solid book. I wish it was more timely. It just, man, if I just we're, it's over now. Any issues we could possibly have, nothing ever sparks up every.
It all got fixed.
Yep, everything's fixed. But it's a nice.
Everyone shook hands, and it was a whole thing.
Yep. But it would be really cool to talk to the guys from that book. I wonder. Hi, Steve. I'll make a call again because that's my new shtick.
Make a call. Are you going to get like a corded phone, like a
yes, I'm going to get a burrito phone.
Phone.
Yeah.
I want it to be a real burrito that you just like
with a phone cord in it.
Yeah. Plus, then you have a snack.
Exactly. But yeah, if only let me see if I can get him on the phone. Hey,
what's up?
It worked.
Hey, what's up? Oh, okay, I'm on speaker now. Okay.
Yeah, we got you on video. How's it going?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Oh man,
we're good. We on the East Coast.
Same.
Ish.
We're on the inside of the East Coast.
We're in EST technically. Just skirting in there.
Just made it.
Love that burrito phone.
Yep. Oh man, hit me up on my burrito phone. Use a banana Todd. What's a banana Todd? I want a banana Todd.
Use a banana.
I don't know. Do I want one?
Use the banana as the phone.
Thank you, Steven. Thank you. What's up?
Steven the Hainer. So you guys, it's been a minute since you've been on. Thankfully, everything's been fixed. Everything we talked about, everything's fucking terrible. That's right. If maybe you've only gotten worse, which that was to be expected.
Dang it.
For those who weren't here the first time, or for somehow this might be their first time watching the show, because basically anytime this could even be close to in a conversation, we're like, oh, Black Cotton. Do you want to give people the rundown on what Black Cotton is?
Yeah, I'll let you do it, Brian. I like it when you do it.
I got you, P. So Black Cotton is set in an alternate reality where the social order of white and black is reversed, and it hinges upon a family, the Cottons, who are the 1% and elitist family, and their son Zion Cotton, who's a police officer, tragically shoots a white minority woman, which then leads to a social upheaval and social tensions. And as we learn more about the Cotton family, Black Cotton.
This book continuously is one of my favorites. Every time it comes out, I adore it. You guys are amazing. We've talked a good amount about it. I would love for everybody to be prepared for slight spoilers. I don't want to talk about #6 in detail, because that's just that's not fair. That literally came out this week. We won't get into spoilers for #6. But if you haven't picked up, there might be slight spoilers on at least the premise and the overall world, because I would love to. Hey, Tyler. Lil Donk. That's our new little mascot, by the way, guys. That little donkey. That's Lil Donk. Oh, also,
that's
what's up, Sam the King?
Yeah.
Yep. I love the expansion that you have put into it since the first, I think, what it was at 3 that we started getting hints that's it's starting to swell, and it's more than just, it felt almost like this just family affair for a little bit with like tinges of the outside world, and it's really just grown and grown, and now it's like, oh, we're international, got it, let's go. Was that, I'm assuming that's been the plan from the beginning? How can you talk about how wide the Black Cotton universe may be getting, or what's the dream?
Yeah, it is. It's exactly what you mentioned. It's really a global thing. From the first issue, it's almost like a sleight of hand. From the first page, you think everything is hinging and focusing on the shooting. So you assume that, okay, this whole story is going to be wrapped around Zion, Elizabeth, and the cop shooting Elizabeth, and how they're just going to handle it. And people miss that Jalissa and her son, Xavier, in issue number 1 are flying back from Japan. They're on the plane flying back from Japan. So we planted the seed, but people didn't actually, connect the dots until issue number 3, when we actually introduced the twins. And then you get like whoa. This thing is a whole lot bigger than just, this shooting that happened. And that's what we wanted from the start. We wanted people to understand that just like in real life, an incident can happen that can draw your focus, but that's just really 1% of everything else that's going on in your life, or that's coming, that you're dealing with in your life. So that's basically from the start. We wanted people to see the incident, but then we were going to introduce you to, guess what? They have multitude of situations happening all at once that they have to deal with. So it's much bigger than that one incident. That's just a piece of the pie.
Mm-hmm. If anything, it's a distraction from the actual bigger thing, which is great. I love that, because it parallels our world, where it's like the singular moment gets blown big, but there's actually this huge thing right behind the curtain that no one's really paying attention to, and I adore that. I think it's great. Right. It's wonderful and heartbreaking. This book's rough. I'm just like, oh, it's so good. Oh no, it's so real. Oh my God.
That's awesome. That's awesome right there. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, cool. And that's another seed that we really were conscious of when me and Brian, from the first time we talked about it and doing all of the creative process together, we really wanted it to mirror both. We wanted it to be something that was enjoyable, meaning people read it and they're like, you know what? It's it has that right balance of excitement, but also realness to it, and give each reader the opportunity to also address things as they're reading it. They're like, whoa, wow. Well, why did they say that? Or why did I think that? And you just have that conversation with yourself, and that's a beautiful thing, to have that dialogue with yourself and actually grow in the process. So, me and Brian, we've grown, tremendously in this process, because we'll ask each other questions. I'll say something, and like, for instance, when we brought the twins, and we're discussing them, and I was like, yeah, they should do martial arts. And he was like, so just because they, are Japanese, they gotta know martial arts?
Yeah, it's a good conversation to have. Yeah. Because you're having, it is really interesting. I do love that you two are having to tackle making the other cultures also seem correct, because I'm assuming it's easy. This is so weird. It's probably easy for you to write for the white people in the book. It's really interesting. I love that. That's why I love this book, because like, what? That's so great. And then I think it's interesting because not only are you writing for, like, you're having to like double back on things so much. It's super interesting. And then you have to write for like these classist issues that are happening too, which is like a whole nother layer on top of it. It's not even just like angry other side. It's also angry, powerful other side, and making them seem like real people and all of that, while being like, I love it. I think it's super interesting. There's so many layers.
Freaking hard too.
Yeah, like what? Like was that one of the biggest? Is that one of the biggest obstacles writing it and making? Because you're making it believable. It's not like it's sci-fi where it's like the aliens are, alien culture. That's just how they are.
Right.
How has been writing it believably? Has that been like an obstacle for you guys throughout the process?
Go ahead, bro.
I wouldn't call it an obstacle. We've been fortunate. I want to use the word fortunate to say, we've taken a healthy step back. We've tried to take a step back from ourselves, our own ego, who we are, our societal self, et cetera, to really kind of exegete out like the human condition and try to really have a holistic perspective of human beings, but still place them within their societal lens and try to really see it without us having, like Kia said in the very first issue, implicit bias, which really was that line right there really was, not only was she talking to Zion, but that was us talking to ourselves, like implicit bias. Yeah, so cool. We were like, and we've been doing that with every part of the story, like really weeding out our own implicit bias to be able to tell the story as an observer and not like preaching or on a soapbox. So no obstacles, it's just
that's
challenging.
Cool. Just just a challenge. Yeah, that's cool.
We really, that was something that me and Brian really was on a consistent. We were on the same page from day one with that. We didn't want this to be anything preachy. We didn't want it to be sort of how you have your hidden agendas within stories, or you're trying to sway somebody to, a certain direction. That really wasn't us. We really tried to not put us in the story. That was it was challenging because you're writing it and automatically, you are you're going to write what a lot of times. And that's the beauty of me and Brian's relationship. It's so cool because as we are, doing everything, when we read it, we did it where when the other person is editing, you are really reading and you're trying to pick out like, hey, this looks like we put some implicit bias or where you're heading, with this. Let's switch it around, so that we let the reader come to their own, conclusion. And we just did. It was a beautiful relationship, and having that relationship and that understanding, it made our process so much easier because we could come to an agreement like that. We have a discussion. It's like, okay, yep, you're right. All right, let's do this. How about this? Boom. And it's awesome because that's what makes a beautiful project, because you can see when the team is on one accord. And if that is happening, then you get something like Black Kind brought to the world and people enjoy it. And that's all we wanted. we just wanted to bring something that people love and enjoy. And hey, we're ecstatic. We're just, happy.
A little angry, just a little. I love it. But
it's okay. A little, yeah. I am.
I get it. I
but it's good.
I understand.
Yeah. There's I don't want to get into spoilers for number 6. Yeah. I love it though. I'm super excited. There is a part in here where there's people watching television that like almost put a knife in my chest because like I remember growing up in that situation with like those types of voices around talking like that to these things that they're seeing and all of that. And it was really spot on. And I was just like, made me really angry, but I was also just like, damn, yep, that is that.
Yeah.
Do you guys, that's really impressive to get, like, I had a visceral reaction. I felt like I remembered hearing things like that and like being surrounded by it. Mm-hmm. I don't even know where a question is, but it's like, where does that come from? It was really spot on. Like, can you speak to that? I don't know.
I would love to. If that's okay, P.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, for us, a lot of that comes from what W.E.B. Du Bois says about double consciousness and how being Black, you live with a kind of a double perspective of yourself, where you not only are you, but you see yourself through another person's lens. That's like, so you have your consciousness of who you are, but you have another consciousness of how someone sees you or might think about you or feel about you. And so those conversations like that are that appears in front, that TV is basically how the best way to describe it is how a Black person or Black family would or feels or envisions how a white family or who looks at them a certain way would respond. And although like a Black person may not ever hear, because like a Black person never in the household with another white family, but that's the double consciousness. And, we are intricately connected through this energy and through this society that, we're connected. And so that verbiage is what is part of how a Black person views themselves through the worldview of a white family. So in Black Cotton, you have the white family viewing themselves through, like, the white family is experiencing double consciousness. So that's where that comes from.
Can I say something too? Mm-hmm. I got to give a shout out to our wives, because a lot of people don't know, because we don't really say it a lot. Brian might have mentioned it, maybe twice in interviews that we have, but he's in a interracial marriage. His wife is white. He has biracial.
He is.
Is that?
Wait a second.
Brian's gonna go check real quick.
He's like, "How come you didn't tell me this?"
What? Hey, Katie, you white,
Katie? And our wives throughout this process, they've read Black Cotton too and given us their opinions. And I got a strong wife. I mean, good Lord, she's strong and Black. So man, she give me the business, but but to have those two strong women, especially their input as we're doing this, it is tremendous. It is tremendous because it helps us also see the other layers that we might be missing sometimes, So just wanted to give a shout out to our wives and, thank them for, throughout the process.
No doubt. And those are some interesting conversations because I remember she read issue 1 and 2 and like her words was like, yo. And she said yo too. She was like, yo. That's a mind fuck right there. Like because I want to like I'm reading it and I want to go this way with it and feel that way, but I'm like, wait a second, I'm white, but I feel, and so she found herself going back and forth. She's like, it's a mind fuck. I'm like, yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
It is. She nailed it. That's a great review. It's a mind fuck. That's the tagline for the trade, right? That's on the back.
Yeah. It's got to be a
mind fuck. Katie. White.
Exactly. Katie, white.
We got our stamp of approval.
It's just this long, really awkward tagline on her name.
Oh, that's hilarious. There you go. Oh man. I'm gonna start crying. Oh man.
So trade.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah. That's a thing.
Is there details about this trade that has to be coming and we will get?
Yeah, January 11th is the release date. And I'll tell you this. It is beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
That I thought the single issue, because I'm a collector, Brian's the reader, and I'm the collector. So I'm focused on single issue variants, boom. I want it all. Man, this graphic novel, shout out to Marcus, who was over production, his production team. Good Lord. Yeah. Phenomenal job. I can't wait for people to see it because it is gorgeous. It is.
Do we have a cover picture of it yet? Do we know what's on the cover yet? What is it? One of the singles covers or is it a unique cover?
No, it's a whole unique one. If you Google Black Cotton Comic, it pops up.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it pops up.
It's
that's how me and Brian found out.
Is it really?
Google
yeah.
Oh man.
It was on Amazon before anyone knew. Like, so they had Scott had already through Simon Schuster has submitted through Amazon. Amazon had already put it up, and so we were just like shooting the breeze, just talking shit one night, and we were trying to figure out something, and we just happened to just Google Black Cotton Comic. And we saw the image of the trade, like, and then we went to Amazon, like, we could pre-order this.
Oh, look at there it is. Oh man, look at that.
Yeah.
It was funny because we were like, how'd they get that cover?
We're like, it's a leak, and we were excited because like, yo, it got leaked. Oh, yes, it got. We were all about the leak.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we're excited about that, and people, I'm telling you, it truly is. It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
it is good, and what they did at the end, because we put some back matter in it, so me and Brian put some words, just our thoughts. I guess you could say we called it reflections.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome. I'm excited to have a reader copy so I can stop using my singles when I go back and reread it and all of that. So that'll be nice. I've been trying not to do that, but this will be one that I actually grab the trade for. even though
Yeah,
I have
and
the
it's
singles.
a lot safer to hand out to other people.
Yep.
too.
Oh, I want to throw this on so many heads. Like, just
yeah, I don't like handing out single issues for people to
no,
read,
especially for people I think need to read this. I really don't want to give them the singles.
Right.
It's like, here's $20 investment, and you're hopefully making you a better person. Let's see if it pays off. Spin the wheel.
Here you go.
Yep.
Take this. Cool. Yeah, we are definitely excited about it. I mean, it's it's just to have the 6 issues, and to have like the 120 plus pages, 140 some pages of content just sitting right there, and it's the culmination of a year and a half of work, and a year and a half of meeting great people like you guys, and talking and building, and just doing the human thing of forming relationships, and through storytelling. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Plus,
Sam King put it
going
perfect.
Comic-Cons, last year, what I learned is that, man, we got a lot of readers in America. I mean, it is really a lot of readers, and they love their trades. They really want the whole story. So a lot of people have been waiting for the trade to come out so they can, sit and read it like an actual book. They want to read the whole thing from cover to cover, so
And for those
you
people
got
who
your
missed the
collectors out
bandwagon.
Yeah.
You said what?
That's how I read it
Missed
today.
the bandwagon.
I read it 1 through 6 today, and it's a really great read all together. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then I read 6 again, but yeah, no, it is good. I think the pacing and everything was great issue to issue, but I think I reread this maybe 3 or 4 times. It's great to go back and keep you pick up on a lot of subtleties and stuff throughout. I notice a lot of stuff. I'm sure next time it'll be like, I didn't even make that connection.
Yeah.
What else am I missing? There's got to be something. So it's cool. It's a great read, and it's something really to be studied. I think it's something that we'll see. It would not surprise me. I always love hearing people where it's like, oh, I'm reading this book. I'll post it to Twitter or something, and somebody's like, oh, I did a huge report on that in college, and it's like, and I didn't know you could do reports on comic books. I would have gone to college. But I do think that Black Cotton will definitely be one of those books. So
that's amazing to hear.
That's what I'm hoping.
Thank you.
To be honest, I really am, because the discussion is it's the ultimate goal. We just want people to talk, and develop through that talk. You can grow and also develop empathy. And I think if we do that, a lot of the stuff that's going on across this, our country and the world, I mean, it boils down to people just don't even know how to talk to each other anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what a great vehicle too of empathy, of literally swapping and viewing through someone else's eyes is just a natural way to do it, and in a comic book form where it's a non-threatening way that you can have this experience with yourself and not be intimidated to have that conversation if you're not ready to with others.
Yeah.
Right.
When people are like, why are they treating the white people so badly? And they're like, oh, shit.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, I want to throw it at enough people's heads to see if I can get that reaction from someone, because like, I think if you can actually get people to read it, maybe not everybody. So like, there's a lot of work to be done, and our educational system sucks all of the butts.
All of them.
Awful. But it's one of those things where it's like more and more just affect a few people, and this with enough eyes on it could certainly affect enough people, just to get people to have that like epiphany moment where they're like, oh, Black people are people. Shit. God. They were just so close, and they just needed that little push. Yeah. And I just feel like this could be such an important nudge. And I've already tried to figure out how I can donate books to the library, because I want to like throw this at my library's head too. That's and amazing. Get it into there, because I don't think Scout, I've never seen any Scout or indie things there, but I would love to like, here's 2 copies of this. Please put it in your library somewhere. I'll just throw it in the book return and hope that it shows up.
I did the same thing. So that's a good thing, because you can. So I'm going to do it at my library too. You can submit, and they'll take, 2 copies at mine. So yeah, that's a good
hashtag thing. Black Cotton Challenge, where you donate a black cotton trade to your library. That could be a neat little thing.
I think we can get that rolling. Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
If you want to save money while you donate to your library, you can use Burrito at Scout and get 10% off that book. So you can get 2 of them. If you got 10 of them, 1 of them would be free.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Okay. I think we can create a promo like around that for sure.
Right?
Yeah, I think we should too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I would love to see that. It's just one of those things where it's just resources, putting it in the right spot, and get it where the public can just grab it.
That would be great.
You never know who will pick it up.
Ooh, Steve, also great point. Fantastic gift for the family.
Yeah.
I saw some post of. Have you seen? Well, I don't know if your communities have it. But we have the where it's like somebody just puts like a mailbox looking thing in their yard, and it's the
little library.
It's a library, but they just put books in it and keep it filled. And somebody, it must have been on Instagram or something, and somebody was like, "Oh, I always throw like a couple comics and stuff whenever I see those in there." And I'm like, man, I gotta start like when I have an issue that's like, good for kids or whatever, to just throw it like in the car book for when I see one, or and put them in there.
Just fill it with black cotton. You take all the books out and just put 20 copies of black cotton in it.
All black cotton.
I guess I'm gonna read this.
I guess this one.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've seen that too. It threw me off the first time I saw it. I was like, what the hell is that? I was like,
what's that little house full of books for?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get shared. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, good job, Travis.
Cool.
Appreciate you, Travis.
So I would love if there was empathy is obviously a huge thing to get from it. If there was, it kind of answers the question. I'm sure it's what it is. But if there was something that you wanted people to get from Black Cotton that wasn't specifically, empathy would be amazing. If you could unlock empathy with this book, which I think it has the capacity to do, that would be great. Is there a central thing that you've been hoping that people get from it? Or are you just letting people come to their own conclusion? Like you said, you were trying to not have your bias in it, which kind of lets people, I get my own conclusions from it. I honestly don't know if I've changed my thoughts on things reading it, but I also so I don't know. But is there something that you're hoping if there's one thing to be taken from this book, people are grabbing from it?
I know for me, I guess it's already what you say, empathy as a long goal, but the action that I strive for when people read Black Cotton is self-awareness. Because as you read Black Cotton, questions are going to automatically come. And through those questions, you gain self-awareness. about yourself, because you're like, why did I think that? Or for instance, a perfect example that I always use is the cover of issue number 2. When people see the White Lives Matter, and it strikes you because when you see White Lives Matter, automatically you're like, I'm used to seeing Black Lives Matter.
Piss me off.
Yeah. and then automatically you have to address with yourself, do I have a problem with seeing the words White Lives Matter? Well, if I don't, then you ask yourself, well, do I have a problem with saying the words Black Lives Matter? And if I do, then why do I? If I don't have a problem with White Lives Matter, why do I have a problem with that? Or vice versa, So I love that you're able to have that self-awareness and have that conversation like you were talking about with yourself. And Nick was talking about it in a safe environment, and then you have the opportunity to change. After that, the ball is in your court. You can change. Or you can
it is possible.
Or you can stay ignorant.
Yeah.
Your two options. Please take the better one.
I definitely have.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah, I want to co-sign that. The word I was thinking about was self-discovery, and yeah. So self-awareness, self-discovery, same thing. We didn't set out to achieve empathy. I think that empathy can become a byproduct of your own discovery, whatever that might be, whatever hits you or awakens you in this story. And from there, it's up to you to do what you do with it. And I think that's the brilliance of storytelling in general, is that, all storytelling is just us holding up a mirror to ourselves. And I think I've said this before, where you hold up a mirror, and you're seeing yourself. And while you're looking in that mirror, you have an option to see the illusory self, how you want to see yourself, or you can see yourself for what you are, and your thoughts and your flaws and your good and your bad and everything. And that's your choice still. And I feel like what Black Cotton is just a mirror. It's an opportunity to just look in the mirror and for you to decide, who are you? What are you? And what we are is how we think. How a person thinks, so shall they be. So that's what Black Cotton is.
I love that, because it's also a mirror of our world. Like, it's literally a reverse image of our world too. So that's good art layers right there. That's the scratching the beard and yes, I love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. It's very, man, you guys could be so much more pretentious about it. Those are,
I'm gonna grab my pipe over here. And
yeah. Was there any comic inspirations that came from this? Like, you're talking about collector/reader. I don't know if we touched on this last time. Do you guys have, not necessarily direct inspirations, like this was what made me think of this, but do you guys have, like, what are your, like, comic inspirations? Where are your roots? What maybe bubbled through to this that got you to this point?
That's a good question.
The story, or just doing it in a comic book form?
I guess what brought you to Black Cotton? Like, is there something that, like, propelled you towards it? Maybe indirectly, or just, yeah. What was the not necessarily like this story made me think this would be an interesting idea, but, like, what was the thing that got you there?
I think it was, and I'll let you chime in, Brian. after this. For me, I think it was just a combination of event after event happening. Just as a black man, watching these events happen over and over, and seeing not just, I wouldn't say events, but events happening coupled with certain movies coming out, like for instance 12 years a slave, just simply movies that were designed to get individuals to develop empathy for other people. But I think that they just missed the mark, simply because great movies, but they missed the mark because of this one flaw. If I always see myself on the big screen in a power position, then that's how I think. If I'm always seeing myself in the weaker position, then that is also, going to drive my thought pattern. It's hard for me to walk in somebody's other shoes if I don't see myself in those shoes or in those roles. Like for instance, something that pissed me off, and I'll shut up.
You're good. That was interesting.
Dead President. I love the movie,
Yeah.
But, huh?
I said,
you said what?
I said, great movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, I love the movie, but here's what I hate about the movie: the ending. Here I am as a black man. When I go to the movies, I don't want a dose of reality. I go to the movies to get away. But yet, all the black movies, guess what? I go, and at the end, what happens? This veteran, black veteran who fought for the country, everything, you see him struggle throughout the whole piece, and what? The judge throws the hammer at him, sends him to jail. Yeah, it's like, okay, what the hell? You just ruined my whole 2 hours sitting here. I got to walk out the theater now with this on my mind. But if I go watch The Heist, which is a white movie,
yep,
they get away, they chilling on the beach and stuff. You know? So I'm like, what the hell, man? How come I can't get that too?
Because it's what would happen, and that's what really sucks. Yeah, you don't need that realism.
Yeah, I want to escape.
Oh shit! Yeah, for sure. Also, I can't get over the idea of 12 Years a Slave being a white slave movie. Like, that's tripping me out a little bit. That would be wild and probably amazing. That would have been controversial. We would have for sure be talking about that still to this day.
Yeah,
that's
what was the other one with Janelle Monáe, Antebellum?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it was like a horror. It was like a horror slash.
Yeah, it was like
something where she transplanted into. I haven't seen it, but she transplanted into like a slave.
Yeah, basically it was this white group that.
Wait! I might actually watch it, so don't spoil it. No.
Oh, that got you.
Steve's got it. Antebellum.
It's
our horror movie expert.
It's a crazy movie,
right?
Good, but then when everything unveils,
whoa! I think there's gonna be a spoiler here.
He's about to do
the ending. Ain't no spoiler. Ain't no spoiler.
I kind of know where you're going.
Not spoiler, but at the end,
it comes back to the same point. I got you.
You're like, what the hell, man?
Okay.
Oh, okay. It's your feelings at the end. There we go.
Right.
That's a non-spoiler.
Right. Okay.
Like, what the hell?
I love it. I love that. No, it's not a spoiler, but at the end, here's the ending.
Yeah. So that to me really was driving Black Cotton for me, simply because what I wanted, going back to what Nick said, was, okay, how can we give this to the world but in a safe, environment where they can not have that feeling, amongst each other like I was having. You're in a crowd and you're like, now I'm pissed off. I haven't had time to absorb, what I'm feeling.
Right.
So I love the fact that a comic book most of the time is just you in the book. So you have that moment where you can be in your feelings, you can address those feelings, and you can actually work it out. So when you do discuss it with somebody else, you come in a totally different way.
Respect that.
Yeah, we're way too emotional of creatures. We need that buffer time to work it out in our heads first before acting on it, especially when it's something that you might be I was reading something the other day that was speaking to how, like, if you're presented with being wrong, that you immediately are defensive about it. Yeah, you don't have the opportunity to actually look at it and maybe accept it because you're too busy on the defense from the get-go. And it's
your brain
just
doesn't want to be
those,
wrong. Biologically, your brain wants to be right, so it will entrench itself. And I love. Yeah. Oh man, Patrick, that was great. I all of a sudden my perspective on a lot of films just was like, oh shit, that's super interesting. Because it is interesting how a lot of like Black movies are realistic at some points, where it's like, give me my escapism that I paid for.
Right.
This digs deep. That's super interesting. And I love the idea of like Black Cotton doesn't force you into it, but it's almost like Black Like Me. It's like having everybody get to experience that without being horribly offensive and not really not really knowing how to do that, but actually getting to switch the roles without being burdened with a group around you, like Nick said, like getting to do it on your own. That's really cool. That's really awesome. I love that. It's this book. There's always just more to dig into. I love it. Brian, what
do
you have the inspiration going back to that question?
So oddly enough, the only comic book inspiration I would say would be, again, oddly enough, is The Walking Dead. We talked a lot about The Walking Dead while writing this, and one, is The Walking Dead is really big for me. Like that was the comic that kind of brought me back into comics, from like going from my being a kid, being young in comics, and then high school and college, kind of break from comics, and my adult life getting back into comics. The Walking Dead was like that thing that brought me back in. And just I remember during the pandemic, I collected like 60 some issues, maybe more, unread, of The Walking Dead, and I just didn't have the time to read them. But I would get them, I would buy them, and it would just stack. So during the pandemic, I said, man, you know what? I'm going through all this. So I backed up and I went back to like 98, and I read from 98 to 193, and it was the most amazing experience. And I'm just like, I've never read anything this good. Like from that point,
consistently good.
I'm like, oh my goodness. And so
for so much.
right. And I remember wanting, and Patrick and I would talk about it, like there's so much, like The Walking Dead is about the human condition 100%. And I'm really, on a personal level, really big on like the human condition. I feel like the reason why Shakespeare is still read today and why Shakespeare is so felt is because he understood the human condition. He could write to it on multiple levels. His setting and his characters were just vehicles to tell like the story of humans. And The Walking Dead to me is very much like that. You know, like zombieism, like, you know, the zombie apocalypse is really a story of the human condition and, you know, with survival. And I felt like, you know, if we can put that into Black Cotton, that human condition like that, where the characters are felt, where the visual of it is felt like from page to page, then we can leave an impression on readers. And it is kind of a leap, but you know, in a lot of ways, like Black Cotton is a horror story. In a lot of ways, it's a horror story.
For sure,
it is it's a social horror story, and it really became evident to me how much of a horror story it was when in some of our posts and our Facebook ads, how attacked it was without ever being read. And
really?
I was like,
I want to ask about that.
Oh yeah, it was intense, and I was like, oh wow. And it's a social horror story that it really gets at you because of, you know, this is really who we are. Like everything that we've done, humanity has done in our existence has been about societal horror and how to beat down someone else in order for us to be better. And it happens in all forms, from relationships to your brother or sister, to neighbors. You know, thou shalt not covet, right? That's a horror story. That's all that is. You know, it's a warning not to cut, you know, not to, you know, go too far and you'll kill your brother, you know. And that's what we're about as humans. And I feel like I'm trying to capture that from The Walking Dead, that horror, into this social spectrum. You know, and Pat and I had so many conversations about The Walking Dead. And yeah, so that's the biggest comic book influence for me.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Gosh, I have the compendium.
Not what I would have expected.
I've been trying to not start The Walking Dead because as soon as
you're gonna be sucked.
No, I mean I know I've read it. I've read it twice, and every time I start it, then just everything else doesn't exist anymore. It's just Walking Dead. I mean, I'm like, I don't eat. I'll be sitting there, and all of a sudden I'll be like, I don't feel good, and it's like, oh, I didn't eat lunch today.
Yeah,
because I've just been reading Walking Dead.
The last time I went through it, I went through it in a week and a half. It was wild. I lost a week and a half to The Walking Dead because I didn't do anything else. I had a week off. I spent most of my vacation reading Walking Dead, and then proceeded to spend my nights reading it.
It's engrossing. It's engrossing.
It is. It's hard to stop.
It is. It's and the thing about it is that really gets me. And here's, you know, from TV, from comic to TV, right? Like I've taken a break on like I stopped watching the show at like, you know, at like season 7 or 8, I think. I stopped it too. But but I couldn't stop with the comic, and because the comic is fluid. It's so fluid, and the show isn't fluid. I felt like season 1 and 2 was more fluid, but something happened. But
halfway through 2 is when I stopped.
There you go. Yeah. So
but yeah, agreed. The comic
just helped me with it. I said the pandemic helped me with the TV series.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, you know, hey, I'm working, I'm teleworking. Put it on.
We did the real life version of it, and we did Survivor. We went through literally every season of Survivor during the pandemic, which is essentially reality Walking Dead, because it's just the human condition. It's people up against adversity.
Yeah,
it's The Walking Dead where people don't die.
We love Survivor. Are you watching the current season?
Oh man, yes. Can we talk
right.
about Survivor? We're gonna take a minute. Because
I'll forget
Survivor.
I'll forget by the time we get there. We are on the last standard definition season.
It's
So
you're at 16 then?
We're at 16.
See,
So-
I even know what the last standard definition season
so
was.
That's impressive.
We've been watching like 1
17
or 2 episodes.
17 is where
night.
HD starts, and it makes it bearable for non-Survivor people.
I'm excited to get to
So
HD.
this season, which is perfect that I love that you two are on. We're talking Black Cotton. This season is where possibly the first People of Color Alliance is working and could actually end up being successful instead of as soon as they have any drama whatsoever are immediately voted out. This season's super exciting.
It is crazy because it's 4 of them, and if they would just work together, but the preacher, she gets on my nerves.
Shan is the worst. If it, everyone else, Deshaun's amazing. Yeah. He's great. I love that they even have an ex-NFL player, which should be like spelled for disaster, but he's not being like, I used to play football, so he's doing okay.
Yo,
that's a downfall.
She is
3 out of 4 are great, but Shan's the worst.
Oh man,
can't stand her. She's the worst. Nope.
Yo, dog, check this out.
Oh my god.
She voted off the black guy, the young dumb black guy.
Yeah, JD.
Look how cold she is as a pastor too. She got him to give her his extra vote.
Yeah,
his, extra vote. Then they voted him off,
and then he's gone. And JD was all like, I'm a super fan, I'm gonna kill it, and then he gives away his advantage, and then the pastor cuts him out, and it's just like, this is rough as fuck, but I adore it. But how I don't understand how Shan is still in it. And oh man, Shan said that, like, I'll let my congregation talk to me, but then I'll just tell them what they need to hear so that I can get my own way. And I'm like, that is exactly a pastor. I loved it. It's like, I know what's best. I'm going to listen to you, and then I'm going to do what's best. I'm like, oh.
Yo, here's my
it all makes sense now.
Hey, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to shut up.
Oh.
When she blew up old girl Spot, meaning, remember she went to the island with her, so she had the advantage.
Yep, and it tells it to Tiffany.
Yeah, I was like,
what the hell?
Shut your mouth,
right? Like, aren't you guys supposed to be partners? And then first thing you do is betray her, but you do it all like because you're dumb. It wasn't even intentional. You're just like dumb.
And my thing, that's when I would have had to have a talk with the pastor.
Yeah, but Leanna was just fine with it. Leanna was like, "Oh, we're good." It's like, what?
And then Leanne, don't tell. I was like, you see, he got the idol right there in front of you. Why don't you take it now?
Should have done it before. Waited way too long.
And he was like, you can take this fake idol I got. I was like,
oh, that was amazing. Oh, that was huge. All right. That's Survivor Series, Burrito Edition.
That's insane.
Dude,
it's a good
I
season.
love it's such a good season.
Remember? They was like, look, we ain't even giving y'all rice. I was like, y'all doing them dirty.
Dude, right? No rice was crazy. This season, I forget who I was talking to recently, but they were like, oh, I'll start up this season. I can get it on Hulu. And I'm like, no, if you watch this season, every other season will seem like dog shit to you because this season is crazy.
It might have been me. I was thinking of like watching the new episodes.
Ahead, and I was like, don't do it.
I was like, we can watch a new episode, and then, but we had to take a break in between seasons the other time because it was just all starting to just. I can't believe you guys just like trucked through it. Because
Oh yeah.
At a certain point, it was just like, what season are we? Wait, where's this person? And it was like that was last season. Like,
So you haven't
do you know the name Russell
the season
yet?
with the winners?
Not yet.
Yeah. 40 is all. 40 is
right now.
It's
it's favorites versus fans. Right now, it's favorites.
Oh, fans versus favorites. That means you got Rupert in the mix right now.
No, that was the first one. This is the second.
This is second fans versus favorites.
Yeah. I liked Rupert a lot.
Nice. Rupert's the best.
Man, when they brought all the winners back, that was
there's a season where all the winners come in. And
I figured there'd be something like that. Yeah.
No, that's like 40. It's the best.
Yeah.
What are they on now? It's 41 now.
41.
So
it was
that's like that's more like 30.
2019
in the 30s.
I thought didn't winners close out the last non-pandemic season?
Nah.
Was it a specialty one for 40?
Winners, they brought back.
That's right. They came back. Yeah. We can't talk about it though. We can't say who it is. But,
right. Yeah.
But
no spoilers on Survivor.
I got you, Nick.
Yeah. But Survivor's the joint. Survivor, yes.
It is. It's back to Black Cotton too. It's perfect because Jeff Probst is maybe the greatest moderator. If I was ever wanting a moderator for like a really intense debate, because race has been a thing on Survivor multiple times.
Yes.
Jeff Probst is the king of just like being in it, making sure people are aware of the fuck they're saying, and then but not saying like, why are you talking like that, you idiot? He's so good at just being like, please extrapolate on your stupidness in a really kind way so that we can see why it's wrong, but not like pummeling them.
Right.
He lets it actually like spread out. Jeff Probst is who I want to moderate everything.
Remember when they had the sexual harassment?
Yup.
The guy who dude,
man. Holy shit.
Crazy, man. He was
crazy.
Down and touch the women. I was like, yo, this dude.
My wife was going crazy during that, and I was fuming too. But she was just like, the fuck. What is going on? Something has to happen. What's going on? Like she was. And it was so great because it was such a good mirror on, because that was before Me Too. That was before the movement we have now of it being like a public thing and calling people out for it. And Survivor is such a great tapestry of the human experience, much like Black Cotton, which everyone should check that out. You should check out Survivor, but more importantly, Black Cotton.
Wow. I never thought the two would correlate. That's amazing.
Be honest, if you like Black Cotton, if you like Survivor, you'll love Black Cotton.
Well, there you go.
If you like Black Cotton, you should go check out Survivor.
I'm going to have to now.
That Venn diagram is, man, cool.
You would have to now.
It's a rabbit hole. It is.
It is. People write it off, but it is an amazing experience. And it shows, especially if you start from 2001, you can see the evolution of our culture as it goes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's much like good. Black Cotton.
So, we talked about the 1 through 6 in the trade. Do we have a second arc coming as well?
Yeah, we're working on it now, and
I'm hoping the way
art
that
for 7 is completely finished. Art for issue 7 is completely finished.
Good.
So you're gonna unveil it now, and we're just gonna you're gonna read it to us, right?
Wow. Since you brought it up,
Reading Rainbow.
What we'll tell you is volume 2 is actually volume 2, 3, and 4. The story arc is actually 2, 3, and 4, and it's 12 issues.
Yeah.
So
shit.
It is pretty intense. Yeah. If you love 1 through 6, then your mind's gonna be blown with with the next 12, because man, It is crazy.
We're very excited about it. We're very excited.
So it's starting over with it's like volume 2, so it's going to start over with a number 1, or
No.
oh no, you said 7.
No.
Yeah.
7
When is 7?
through-
When is 7 coming
So,
out? Is that
so we're looking at late spring.
okay?
Yeah, but we're gonna continue the numbers.
Yeah.
So,
it's gonna start
so
with
February, we're gonna get it.
Nah.
We got it.
We're looking at probably maybe
You know,
Early
late spring.
February.
like May.
Yeah.
Probably.
Here's
Okay.
what we will say.
So like
It
calendar
might
spring.
You know, we might, you know, because our website is going to be up and running, you know, blackkindcomic.com in January when the trade come out. So if you want to, you know, get a sneak peek, the sneak peek will be announced on our website.
Absolutely.
And then you'll get a sneak peek sometime, you know.
Like a
Probably
few
might
like a
be
few
in
pages to like
February.
get all
Maybe.
excited about.
Maybe.
Like a little like ash can almost. Be like, ooh.
Should we give them the title, Brian?
Oh man, you want to debut the title?
Oh,
like,
let's do it.
oh,
It's
really?
a burrito exclusive.
You know what?
Let's do
What
it.
the hell? Let's do it.
Why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
You know, burrito. Why not?
Go ahead. You want
I'll
to
do one part and you do the second part.
All right. All right.
The first part is white on white crime.
And the plight of gentrification.
Oh, that's really awesome. The white on white crime and the plight of gentrification.
Yeah. So we're touching on both of those.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I'm not writing anything down.
Debuted here.
Only
our editor knew about that.
Yeah.
and white on white crime and the gentrification
And the plight of gentrification.
and the plight of gentrification. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is crazy. I'm telling you, when people read it, it's gonna blow their mind with this whole story arc of just really thinking of, okay, what is white on white crime? You know, what is black on black crime? What is crime, period? You know?
Oh, you mean just normal crime where two people are upset with each other, but you know you got to have a name for it because you have to vilify people.
Yeah, and then gentrification.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh
you
yeah,
know,
gentrification that's a whole man. I'm so fucking excited.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, because I when we started doing this, it opened my eyes to just even where I'm living. You know, I'm in Stafford, Virginia, and I know they probably hate me saying this, but it's happening here. I look around, I'm like, holy cow, what the hell? You know, because to me, there's no reason why where I live, the houses should be 650,000 and up. I'm like, who the hell can live here? And then,
Yep.
And then I'm like, okay,
who can is exactly the question.
Yeah, and it was funny. Me and a buddy of mine, we were having a discussion because he had a home built, you know, and I was like, dude, you're part of the problem.
Oh, damn it! Screw you, man.
He said, well, people should make more money and then they can live it. I said, let me ask you this question. I said, when you go down the street and you go to the grocery stores and all of these shopping, you know, areas around here, I said, you expect somebody to be there to serve you, right? He was like, yeah. And I said, and you also expect them to give you some good customer service, right? Like they're happy to be there. I said, well, think about this. If they have to drive an hour to get to this low-paying job just to serve you, and you wonder why they're giving you a funky attitude, I said, you have to have affordable housing in this area so they can also live here and serve you. But if I got to drive an hour to get to work, guess what? My attitude's going to be funky and I don't want to deal with you. You work there then.
Oh,
That's what
yep, 100. That is
realize.
That's it. Literally right there is you want people to, you need people of all income levels to be able to actually make a society work. And no matter what the lowest income level is, it needs to be sustainable and livable so that the entire spectrum can actually work. Because if you don't, if the lowest on the spectrum can't survive there, can't actually live there, it's untenable. It will not work, and something will happen eventually. They'll be like, I'm just going to work 30 minutes the other way because
which is exactly what me and my wife do. We're having a house built, right? And we literally went 15 minutes down the road, we'll say, to Fredericksburg. The same house is being built 3 minutes away from where we live right now. And it was $130,000 more than the same house we're building 15 minutes down the road.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
That doesn't make any sense.
Wow. That is wild.
Same builders.
That's crazy.
Is there any Starbucks around there?
That was going to be my first joke was, did you realize your neighborhood was getting that as soon as you walked out and you saw 2 Starbucks on both sides of the street?
I should have known when the Publix moved in,
It was right there. Publix, Whole Foods. Oh no, where am I living?
Oh man.
Amazing.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, what's Navy? What's that store? Navy
You talking about Old Navy?
Old Navy?
That's why
I have one like 6 minutes from my house.
I should have, when you said Whole Foods, I said I should have known something was up because they moved Old Navy out and put in a Whole Foods.
You lost Old Navy.
To Whole Foods, though.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's when like you're like, oh no, I'm almost there, and then that happens. You're like, oh no, it happened.
Hilarious.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. So we're excited about it, and all of this conversation is like it's all a part of what Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4 is about. It being this 12-issue event is what we're kind of calling it. That follows behind, that first volume. So
awesome. Are we going to be? I'm sure the world will be expanding somewhat. Are we also going to be seeing some new characters? Are we going to be seeing some twisties? What do we have to more? Can you tell me what
else can you tell us?
About? just you want to give me any more info?
Answer to your question is yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be some exciting new characters. It is phenomenal. You're definitely going to get more about the twins. You're going to get a new heavy hitter, that's going to be introduced. You're going to, you're also going to get more diversity in this one. We're big on diversity and we're big on inclusion, meaning not just in color, but also in gender and I would say disabilities, and looks. Like for instance, if you go back and look at some of the hairstyles or just some of the characters, we try to make sure that we have a variety, mixed in so that whoever's reading Black Cotton, they're like, okay, oh, cool. Didn't notice that. Or this is natural in this world. So we're going to introduce, a person with disability in volume 2, missing limb, something like that. We're going to touch on different areas so that diversity and anybody who reads it, they can also identify with themselves. If you're a person who,
Cool.
has a disability, you're like, okay, it's cool to see, somebody with a disability and see some of their trials and tribulations that they go through. I go through that too. So yeah, we try
That's
to
awesome.
inclusion.
Do you guys have you guys I'm gonna branch out a little bit because we're past the hour mark and we'd usually give you an out, but I love talking to you guys too much that we haven't even given you an out yet. Which we're over an hour. If you need to leave, you need to leave. It's all good.
Okay.
But we've had Rodney Barnes on the program before, and he has Quincredible, which is all about a disabled superhero, essentially. And are we... Take a second. Are you looking to eventually have the whole spectrum of the human experience represented as the universe expands, as the BCU gets bigger and bigger? Are we going to start seeing more slices of life as we go? Is that one of is that a trajectory we're looking for? Is that too spoilery? Or is that something that we can look forward to?
Me?
Yes. Sure.
Okay. I would say yes. So going with the human condition, like the only way that this story can be told effectively is for it to encompass everything that's possible in storytelling to represent who we are as human beings. And one, like, it was kind of not misleading, but misleading. Like, the Black Cotton story, issue 1 through 6, because of the shooting and because of that event, you really get focused on that event. But Black Cotton in its creation was about the universe from the beginning. It was always about this inverse world where the social order of white and black is reversed. And what that does is that sets us up for the world that we're in right now, but it literally being an alternate version. And not just an alternate version as in the shooting, but alternate version as in all the aspects. Now, storytellers, how much of that can we fit into these stories? We're going to, as of right now, we're letting the story dictate, how much of that and when and where. But the point is for it to reflect, again, going back to the mirror, to reflect our world. And you're eventually you're going to get to a point where you're going to see exactly what time period we're in as well.
Ooh.
And like more specifically, because right now, we feel like it's running parallel with us, but you're going to really get to see the exact point where, Black Cotton started. And then you're going to realize like, that's where they're at. That's where we're at. And then you'll be able to know. And,
cool.
And so, yeah, so it's just think of it as a mirror. And, we're going to be able to branch more into that, so that inverse, that reverse really of that social order, and how that has affected all aspects of the world, because the United States is still the most powerful nation. It's just now,
that's what I was going to ask. Are we in the United States in this book right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I was like, if we're in Africa right now, you're gonna fucking like make me flip. I was like, oh shit. That's what I thought you were basically like alluding to, was this is taking place in Africa.
but the interesting part is that you can kind of take that train of thought though and think about the European influence on America.
Mm-hmm.
So there, there's definitely an African influence on America instead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the world that we're in, and it's going to expand. Cool. And the world is larger than the continents, and we're going to eventually get to that.
I've been super excited to see what the state of Africa is in the BCU. It's been something, because if you would have, like, what you just told me, was like, oh God, I've been waiting to see what the state, like, I was like, I wonder what Africa's like in this. And you're like, if we're in Africa this whole time, holy shit. Because I've been so curious to know what the rest of the world even looks like, because it is a mirror. It's so opposite. It's like, is Africa sending aid to the United States because it's the reverse? And like, this is the third world country we are inhabiting. So that's awesome. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah, you will get to see which we've talked about, because we're like, they need to see what, for instance, let's just throw out Hong Kong. We know what Hong Kong looks like now, but what would Hong Kong look like in BCU? Or what would Tokyo look like? Because we know that Jalissa and them went to Japan. Mm-hmm. So now we need to give you that top-down view and see how, them being influenced by another culture, well, how would their buildings and how would everything, look now? How would New York look? New York won't look like it does now.
How would it, Patrick?
So that is some things that you will see also coming to light in Volume 2. We're going to give you more visualization of the world outside the front door, not just inside.
Awesome.
But
and Marco's doing an excellent job on it too. He has, like, in issue 7, he has this one. It's this one page with Kia that really hits home. I can't
really.
Yeah.
Nay.
Sorry. But he's doing an amazing job on it. He's in volume 2 now, so it's the 7th issue, so he's very comfortable with the characters and the scene and the vision of it. So and we're staying
with the same artist. That's what you're saying. The next art, because that was going to be one of my questions, was, are we going to be keeping the same art scheme and all of that? Cool.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yep. So he's on his way into 8 as we speak.
Man, but it's like November.
Spring is right around the corner.
Yeah, it's right there. In Michigan, it does not feel that way. It feels like everything's going to shit.
Yeah. So we maybe April. I don't know. We'll see.
Thanks.
We'll see.
I love it.
Yeah.
So usually, I think we talked to you guys about this before.
Yeah.
Because we've usually went. No. Oh, we'll get to that. But it's, what big 2 would you see yourself really wanting to attach to? What, I have a spin on it that I would love to ask you. What big 2 or anything else world would you love to give the Black Cotton treatment to? What would you love to reverse and show in a completely different light? What would you like to Black?
That's a really good question, Todd.
I feel like I definitely have one.
Me too.
I'll let you go first, Patrick.
Okay. Me and we've talked about it, me and Brian. Remember the college scandal? The big where you had and I'm a big college, person, so these Ivy League and all of that. So I want to flip that. I want to, flip the whole college spectrum and just give it a whole makeover. What if college was really just equalized and not, it seems as if, it's more money driven right now. So let's equalize and put a black kind spin on the college evolution.
What if the world was K through 16 instead of K through 12?
Yeah.
If that was a nomenclature, K through
Right.
16 was a thing.
I mean, think about it.
That's the dream right there.
Not just that, but think of this. In other countries,
Oh wow,
they're teaching, foreign language young.
I almost clicked it.
Like,
Right? No, yeah.
It's like, why do we start at 7th grade or 8th grade, or you got to have money to get your child that luxury.
Yeah.
Pre-K.
Where it was elementary, it was K through 5, and everything else is yeah.
When studies have already told you the earlier, the better.
Yeah, and you shrink it even more. Yeah, that. Oh God, I don't want it. Our world is our. Oh no, that might depress me too much.
yeah.
That's rough. Yeah, is there a point in history that you subverted to use as a starting point for BCU? That's an excellent question.
No.
No. It's,
No.
You can tell us what year you guys started in, so we know where things.
No.
And the short answer is no, simply because I think we discussed this in our first interview. There's no slavery in the BCU, so it's
that's
not
my
like
first
we took a point,
mind blow.
and we've been flipping. No, it's not just a flip of the world. It's really a twist, because there are certain things that are removed, which if you look at just a domino, stacking dominoes and tipping it over, well, striking that first domino, it won't go to the end simply because we've removed parts out of it. So the world has changed, but at the same what we also are pitching to you and giving you an opportunity to look at is that with the removal of that, could America still get to the same point that it's at right now? And that is, something that we are, we're letting the readers decide.
Yeah, which is my only point of contention in the book is, without being on the back of black slaves, I don't think the U.S. would be where it is. That's where I'm excited, where you're like, the world is different and things are flipped, because I don't think the U.S. would be the U.S. without a enormous jumpstart in free labor. I think that is. I think that it wouldn't exist. It would be just like most other countries. There wouldn't be a superpower. It would just be a place where people lived, and it wouldn't have been the big thing that it is. But I find it interesting. I love the idea that there was 2 Mayflowers, and one just fucking wrecked everything and was like, no, we're doing it this way, and they just killed it. And it just went really well, and I love that. I think that's amazing.
And the beauty piece, that goes back to what you were talking about with Africa, which people will find out later on. So how are the other continents? And America, is it will say like this: is it the Russia of our world now? Meaning, you're a superpower, but you're not the superpower that
I like it.
that people view America. It's like, okay, you're a superpower, but this continent might be the one that is, the replica of the U.S. as we see it now.
That's cool.
Dun, 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 dun.
I dig it. Yeah, exactly. I love Brian. I think I feel Brian like clench up every time you almost start something because he's like, oh no.
I'm cool.
Oh, it's good. Okay,
It's
that
all
was
cool.
vague enough.
It's all cool.
It was vague enough. That's fine. Brian, do you have a Black Cotton-ified universe that you would like to do?
So I might need some clarity on. It's like when you said big two, were you speaking of like
Marvel, DC? Is
Marvel,
there something
DC?
that?
Okay.
I mean, but it's Marvel.
It could be anything I'm
They
thinking
usually ask, "What big two would you like to write?" And instead, it's like, "What big two would you like to Black Cotton-ify?"
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
The first one is going to be, and I think I've said this before somewhere, but I might have just been talking to myself. Who knows? I do that sometimes too. Too much of this sometimes. Anyway,
It happens.
The Walking Dead. I would like to do like the instead of Shane dying, Rick dies, and
Oh.
and so the whole story follows Shane instead of Rick.
Love it.
I would like to do that.
That's a different story.
That's a different story. I would love.
That's a different story.
Yes.
I think there was like a one shot.
I thought they did, but like I think they did a one shot that like
they
covered.
I think so. Yeah,
but I
like
want to see 190 issues.
Yeah, it wasn't enough.
Yes,
of Shane, exactly. Yeah, I would love that. The other one,
the zombies are the good people.
To be honest with you, like
I mean,
can't really pimp. Huh?
I mean, they kind of no. You're supposed to switch it, Todd.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Whatever, Walking Dead. So, to be honest with you, I feel like I would like to contribute to what I feel like is kind of a Black Cotton thing that Milestone has done, especially in the return with going specifically with Icon. I feel like because I mean, and this is a spoiler alert. Like if you read issue 3 of that,
Spoilers.
Right? Spoiler, God. Yeah. Like they brought in what happened to Kal-El, right? And and it's like, oh, so Superman existed in that universe, and you also know what happened to Superman, and so you have this world without Superman, but you have Icon instead, and how Icon comes to be in the forefront. I feel like that's kind of like a inverse, like a Black Cotton thing. I would like to contribute to that and build on that.
Make it a real universe.
Yeah, I mean, it's there, and it was there before in the 90s, but with the return and what they're doing now, and how they kind of they retcon the origin and how they're bringing everyone together, like how they're expanding the universe now. I would definitely like to be a part of that expansion because I think it's kind of
awesome. Be cool.
Like I don't want to call it Black Cottoning, but
but it is. That is what they did. Yeah,
I feel like it. It links well.
100%. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Patrick, do you have a big two or a universe you want to flip on its head? And why is it Spider-Man?
I don't know. It's right now I can't think.
That's all right. You're literally doing it.
Because
you're literally doing it.
Yeah, it's I know one that I would love to see. I know they're trying to bring them back, but Wolverine, because they're trying hard. They really
How
are.
is there not a Black Logan? Dude
I mean,
was experimented on without
exactly.
his
They only experimented
against his will,
right?
And he was forced to do stuff. It's kind of asking for a Black Logan to like fill the clause,
and that's what I'm saying.
There.
That's
sure.
the only one. I mean, Wolverine was the only one you did this on.
Yeah, for sure.
So
interesting.
I mean, and then
I dig it.
X-23, but
yep.
Come on.
Yeah. You could do better.
My daddy could be black.
Amazing.
There we go.
Well, to round it out, because now we're starting. At some point, I'm going to do a big short of previous guests with their perfect burritos to show that they're flip floppers, to show that you shouldn't trust them. Nick, do you have a question for these fellows?
Well, yeah, we could just see what your perfect burrito, and we've tried to kind of not put rules to it more, but to more clarify that this is a calorie-free burrito.
Oh wow!
So you don't have to worry about anything like that.
No health restrictions.
Yeah, there's zero consequences in general as well. Like if you're lactose intolerant, you can go ahead and put sour cream on it if you love sour cream, because it's not gonna affect anything. So what would you
if you could make burrito? If
you could make just that perfect burrito, what would you?
Ryan's ready.
Ryan's ready. He's like, I've been thinking about this for.
I'm gonna eat it soon. Katie's making it right now.
Don't get me excited.
What you got, Brian?
Okay, so I will preface this by saying that I'm currently I would say I'm primarily plant-based, but I do sometimes eat turkey.
Okay.
So right now, I'm playing for that, and occasional seafood as well, but no red meat. So with this burrito, I'm putting in some red meat. So I'm going with steak for sure. I'm gonna top that with cheeseburger. Like I want like steak and ground beef.
Oh, okay.
Cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You're just going for
it. Yeah. It's cementing the foundation.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like a steak and cheese cheeseburger. Yeah, steak and cheese cheeseburger in the burrito. I want American cheese and provolone.
Ooh.
Yeah. I want some. I think I'm gonna go with some type of like. I don't like regular bacon, so I'm gonna still say turkey bacon with turkey bacon.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've just never really been into like actual bacon, so I like turkey bacon. So a steak and cheese cheeseburger, turkey bacon, pizza, macaroni and cheese with guacamole.
Brian's just trying to get all his last meals in. All
in one tortilla.
A lobster
and fried chicken.
Fried chicken. On the bone.
Waffle, maple syrup, hot wings.
Boneless fried chicken.
Boneless. Yeah, of course.
You know the double down that KFC had? Like,
yes. But a burrito.
Right there in the burrito.
Inside of it.
Inside. It should be about this big.
Yep.
And
it's literally a death burrito because you will die if you eat it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Ryan went very literal with it. Yeah.
Deathbed? This is killing me? Cool.
I think this would do it.
This would do it. I'm like, drop straight down.
I just love that it still has turkey bacon on it, though. Like,
yeah, all of this.
This is the healthy part right here.
Yeah. This balances it all out. I have a stuffed crust pizza in here, but turkey bacon.
So what you talking about? This is healthy.
Hey, I started to put the sweet potato pie in there, but I said that's too much. That's too much.
Sweet potato? No, it's pumpkin.
I ain't never had no pumpkin pie before.
Pecan pie, you know, keeping it good.
Yeah. Let me see here.
Or pecan. It, you know, I don't judge. It's pecan though. Patrick.
So,
what's your perfect burrito that's technically a burrito because it's in a tortilla?
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, you know, I want some seafood in mine.
Yeah.
But, you know, I got to get, you know, a good foundation. So on top of the wrap, give me a combination fried rice. I just don't want rice.
Ooh.
I want combination fried rice with no onion. So
no onions.
So I got steak, chicken, and shrimp in my combination fried rice, you know, with no onion. I also want, you know, they be trying to be stingy. Go and give me that scrambled egg in there too with the peas and carrots, you know?
Yeah.
Give me all
it's
that.
already there. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't be stingy. Then let me get some king crab legs, you know, out the shell. I just want the meat.
Oh, I guess I was about to ask, is there a shell?
Yeah. You give me the meat, you know? Like, why you gonna make me work, you know? Come on. Don't put that king crab leg on it. Let me also get some yellow-tailed cheek. Oh man, that meat is nice. So don't put that up there.
Yellowtail, I love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need them to run down to New Orleans and get me some charbroiled grilled oysters. Leave the shell. Give me the oysters charbroiled.
Leave the shell.
Wow.
I love it.
Slap that mug on there. Let me see. What? Oh yeah. I gotta have me some yum sauce. Let me get a string of yum sauce and some soy sauce. You know.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Oh, I'm feeling this one. I like this one a lot.
I would pay to see you eat this, man. I really
I want to pay to eat this.
Hey.
Yeah, I want to experience this.
I don't want to pay to watch Patrick eat it. I want to eat it, and I'm willing to pay for it.
And to be healthy, put some lettuce on top.
Put some
lettuce.
I thought you were gonna say turkey bacon, but
yeah,
that's the vegetable.
Yeah, my wife got
fried rice. We've got fried rice. We've got steak and chicken, shrimp, and then we've got crab legs.
King crab.
King crab legs. We've got smoked oysters.
Yum
sauce. Soy sauce.
And halibut.
Oh, and halibut.
Oh man, yeah. And some halibut. A strip of halibut too. So
you know, this is kind of a sushi roll, and we have a restaurant in town that does giant sushi rolls in it's burrito sized sushi rolls.
It's like that.
It sounds a lot like this. I'm gonna see
two burritos.
Something close.
Man.
I'm going to cut these out. You both made maybe the most epic burritos we've had thus far.
My dream is to have a comic burrito cookbook, and these will have the warnings on them, like "Do not attempt."
Terrible idea, but Patrick thinks this is good.
I would definitely eat that one.
No, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah,
these burritos
it's like for professionals only. Like
these burritos will definitely be in the.
Got the little black stars on it. double black diamond burrito.
Yeah, it's the black diamond burrito, the Hawkins and Foreman.
Hey, you know what we need to do?
Oh,
we need to have a page in the BCU with the comic burrito, and then on the menu it has our burritos up there.
Yep. That's all. There's two options: the Foreman and the Hawkins.
Which one would you choose? Write in and tell us. Write in and tell us.
Yes, exactly, and explain why. And that's the whole 2 pages of people explaining why.
Hey, they said, "Do is Lil Donk? Does he exist in the BCU?"
Yes,
he'll be the one taking the orders.
Yes, Lil Donk. He's there at the register.
That's funny.
I love it. Well, that was the best answers that I could have expected, because I was ready for some cilantro guacamole grilled chicken bullshit. So
we're always standard too.
I was expressing my fantasy right there.
I love it. So if you're in the replay, I forgot to do all of my due diligence, but if you're in the replay, go to the description, check out Black Cotton there, check out Patrick and Brian. I can't express more how much I love this book. Go check it out. If you need a discount, fuck that. Go to your LCS, tell them, holy shit, get Black Cotton on your shelves, because this needs to be everywhere. But if you are a little wimp and you can't tell your LCS that for some reason, go to Scout Comics and use Burrito to get 10% off of it. But go pull it. It's amazing. Apparently there's 12 more issues to go look forward to.
At least.
So go do that. Talk to me why Africa is the superpower of the world, because that is what I've been expecting. That's what I expect.
Akeem.
I'm assuming Wakanda is the capital of the UN.
Zamunda, Wakanda.
Yes.
Zamunda, Wakanda.
I may have mixed up my universes, but it doesn't matter.
They all exist. Wakanda, Zamunda, all
it's all in one. Yes, it's all one. Thank you for getting wrapped up with us. Go follow these guys. Go read this. It's amazing. It's the best. This has been... Nope.
Hey guys, it was great. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. I agree. Comic Burrito, a live stream. I'm Todd.
I'm Nick. I'm Nick.
Yeah.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Brian.
It's been Comic Burrito, a live stream. Bye.